got an A+ on my finals, but I barely studied. Okay, that sounds like total clickbait, I know. But hear me out. A few months ago, I was completely burning out. My grades were slipping, and it didn't matter how many hours I chained myself to a desk in the library. You better watch the last tip because it's the most important one in this section. Method 1. Kaizen. The power of small steps. The first principle I adopted was Kaizen, a Japanese philosophy that's all about continuous, incremental improvement. In Japan, it's a famous business philosophy, but the core idea is simple. Make tiny improvements every single day. The old me would try to force myself into a 5-hour study marathon, which felt so daunting that I'd procrastinate for hours just to avoid starting. Kaizen taught me to stop focusing on the mountain and just focus on the next step. Instead of telling myself, you have to study for 5 hours, I just had to start with one small, manageable chunk. My new goal was just 20 minutes of focused work. That's it. It sounded way too easy to be effective. It broke the cycle of procrastination because, let's be real, anyone can convince themselves to do something for just 20 minutes. Those small, consistent wins started to build momentum. The feeling of success from one small session made it easier to start the next one. Soon, 20 minutes became 25, then 30. It wasn't about the long, brutal hours anymore. It was about consistent, daily progress that felt easy and sustainable. Before we start to the next method, comment, "I'm ready to learn" below. It's a simple psychological trick that helps lock in your commitment to actually follow through and apply what you're about to learn. It's a small step that tells your brain you're serious. Method 2. Shuchu. The art of deep focus. The next step was to make those short study blocks actually count. This is where I learned about Shuchu, which is the Japanese word for concentration. It's not a formal technique with a set of rules, but rather a cultural commitment to creating a ritual of deep, single-minded focus. It's about respecting your attention as your most valuable resource. Before, my studying involved my phone buzzing on the table, 10 different research tabs open, and a show running in the background for company. It was a recipe for distraction. To practice Shuchu, I created a true distraction-free zone. I started a pre-study ritual. Phone was put in another room. All notifications on my laptop were turned off, and I closed every single tab that wasn't essential for the one task I was doing. I committed to single tasking. Honestly, it was brutal at first. My brain was so used to constant stimulation that the silence felt strange. But I quickly realized that 1 hour of true, deep focus was more effective than 5 hours of my old, fragmented, and distracted studying. Method 3. The timer technique. To give my Shuchu session structure, I used a simple timer method. Now, this part isn't a Japanese invention. It was actually developed by an Italian university student in the 80s, but it fit perfectly with the philosophies of Kaizen and Shuchu. The system is incredibly simple but profoundly effective. I set a timer for 25 minutes and worked with intense, undistracted focus until it rang. The ticking clock created a sense of urgency that kept me on task. When the timer went off, I would take a mandatory 5-minute break. And I mean a real break. I would stand up, stretch, get a glass of water, or just look out the window and rest my eyes. The one rule was no checking my phone or email. That wasn't a break. It was just a different kind of distraction. This short rest allowed my brain to relax and recharge. After 4 of those 25-minute cycles, I'd take a longer, 30-minute break. This system completely prevented burnout and kept my mind fresh for hours. Knowing a break was always just around the corner made the focused work feel way less intimidating and much more manageable. Before we start to the next method, comment, "I'm ready to learn" below. It's a simple psychological trick that helps lock in your commitment to actually follow through and apply what you're about to learn. It's a small step that tells your brain you're serious. Method 4. Active recall. This was the biggest game changer, and it's another one I borrowed from the world of cognitive science. For years, I studied by rereading my notes and highlighting passages, thinking I was being productive. In reality, that's a passive activity that tricks your brain into thinking it knows the material because it looks familiar. I started using active recall instead. This method is based on the simple idea that the best way to strengthen a memory is to actively try to pull information out of your brain, not passively put it in. After studying a concept for 25 minutes, I'd close the book, put away my notes, and try to explain the concept out loud as if I were teaching it to a friend. Another way I practiced this was by taking a blank piece of paper and scribbling down everything I could remember about the topic, creating a messy mind map from memory. It was hard and uncomfortable. I'd often realize how little I actually retained. But that feeling of difficulty is actually a sign that it's working. It forced my brain to struggle. And in that struggle, it built stronger neural connections. It's the difference between recognizing a fact and truly understanding it. Slowly, everything started to click. I was studying for maybe a couple of focused hours a day, tops. But in those hours, I was actually learning. The constant anxiety started to fade. I had more free time. I was less stressed. And for the first time, I felt like I was in control of my own education. And the final result? An A+. But honestly, the grade was just the bonus. The real prize was getting my life back. It proved to me that the secret to success isn't about working yourself to the bone. It's about having the right system, being intentional with your time, and respecting the way your brain actually learns. If you're feeling burnt out and overwhelmed, I challenge you to try just one of these methods for a week. Maybe it's the 20-minute Kaizen start, or just turning your phone off for one focused session. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to try first. And if you want more ideas on how to study smarter, not harder, make sure to subscribe. You've got this.